Hello everybody, so today we're looking at the Jazewares figures. I got these three, which I think are the most important to look at anyway, but to be honest with you, I have not got the others yet. So first, let's start with, I think the worst one, but it's not because they're bad by any means, it's just they got some issues. So the thing I want to point out first, you'll notice that her beak is propped open. That is because when I was trying to pose the figure, her jaw broke. So keep in mind, the mechanism, the play feature, I heard a lot of people say it doesn't hinder her articulation. Well, yeah, it kind of does. I actually broke the the play feature. Like, the arms still move half the time. It's finicky, but you know what I mean. I broke the play feature trying to articulate her arms. So her beak can open and close usually. I have it propped open. I can unprop it later, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Her arms got pretty good motion, and we'll get into that, but I mean, she can almost cross her arms, and she can for sure give a hug. I got her foot tilted. Let's see if we can fix that. I'm trying to do this one-handed because I'm filming this with my phone. But yeah, she looks pretty good. She articulates well enough. She doesn't kick up as much as you'd think they would, but she can do the splits. So, and you can finagle her legs to sit fully down. Of course, not the big issue. She's actually really well articulated. It's just the play feature gets in the way of the articulation, and I broke the jaw mechanism of the play feature by articulating her arms. I didn't even touch the jaw. I was articulating the arms. So keep that in mind when you buy them. Mangle might be my favorite. I actually don't have her set up how the Jazewares thing was set up. On the box, she's set up a little different. Oh, snap. But I think I like her like this. Articulation wise, no, it's pretty simple. You can move her here and there. Her head's probably the part I don't like because it kind of just moves side to side like that. Same with this head. And so if you want her to do anything else, you have to move the arm. Sorry. Or the metal bit here. If you want to move her head. And honestly, if you want it in a different position, you kind of gotta put in a different ball. Like, take this metal piece off and put it on one of these other balls here. Her hands are on a ball joint and they move okay. In fact, pretty much everything is a ball joint here. But Mangle, I think, looks the best. Now it's time for the main man himself. And he's actually the one I'm the kind of most disappointed in. Just kind of how hyped I was to get this figure. How people talked about him, praised him and such. So let's go over his issues. First thing I want to praise is his leg articulation is really good. He actually has a waist swivel, and he can move back, front and forward and back. He can lean side to side with his waist movement alone. So his legs are amazing. This bit is amazing. He can open his jaw, look side to side. He can't look up or down, but with how good his waist movement is, it's not that big of a deal. Now, the buzzkill is his arm movement. It's non-existent. He can actually barely bend his arm. That's as far as it goes. He can't bring his arm inward. So you can't get him to touch his belly, which is something I find annoying. You can't get him to cross his arms. However, there are a couple of workarounds to this. So, here. I'm going to set the camera down for a sec. So I took a piece of his arm off. Unless you like look directly from above, you wouldn't notice. But making him cross his arms is still probably impossible. There's no trickery, I think, that would make that look good. But you can at least touch his stomach, so that's cool. And I'm sure you could get him to hold his head like he's surprised or something. So there is some, by removing bits, you can make him articulate a little better and, like, you know, look good on the shelf. But when it comes to just playing with him, everything feels good but the arms to me. And, well, he doesn't come with any accessories. I had him holding the microphone here, but he's not actually made to hold any accessories. So you kind of just gotta try. He can. Not that he's made to. It looks awkward, but he can. So, yeah, I mean, put him on the stage. I think he'd look good. He dropped the mic. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, and the scale wise, he is 6 inches. Let me get them all to stand straight and fix them all up. I did remove a piece from him, and Mangle's bow tie fell out. But yeah, if you get them all standing normal, Mangle actually does look, when standing normal, just as tall as Freddy, despite being a 5-inch scale figure. So if we ever get a 6-inch Mangle, I think she's going to be a little too big. Yeah, this does feel like a definitive Mangle, though. But, yeah. Get Chico to look better. Just standing. And I'll bring some figures over to do a size comparison. I already had some over. And I have his other parts, like his other suit parts, swap into, but I'm sure everyone's already seen that. I actually kind of want to go over things I haven't seen in other reviews. But first, like, size comparison, don't look bad. They may be still a little small. That's my main issues with the Funkos, is overall the Funkos are a little too small. Looking at him, he actually looks pretty good next to Goku. But Goku's actually a relatively small figure. So let's say I get a normal 6-inch figure. I actually have two here I want to grab. So we'll grab this one and that other one. They're both about the same height anyway, but you know, we'll grab 3 figures. Because I think this will give you a good idea of their average look. Like, size-wise, burgers and fries. Just give you the idea how good he is next to 6-inch scaled figs. Because he is supposed to be a 6-inch figure, scale figure. He actually is 6 inches, but you think if he's going to scale with a 6-inch figure, he'd be a little taller. So here he is next to Guy Gardner and Spider-Man. A little taller than the Goku figure. And he's a little short, and that's fine. I'm still satisfied with this height, personally. Again, Funko Freddy could just never look right size-wise with any of these guys. Whereas this Freddy can at least tower over characters like Goku. He's a little small next to these two. He's still like up to his hat. These characters come up to his hat, which is still a good size, but a little small. But yeah, I will say, I always hated these Funkos, and he can barely articulate his legs, right? But when it comes to arm movement, he actually isn't that bad. He actually somewhat crosses arms. He actually has better arm articulation than both Chica and Fred here. It's actually not too hard to take him apart. I actually heard people say they had an issue. Took him like 20 to 30 minutes to get him put together and such. It's actually really easy. It only takes about 5 minutes. And he looks good. So, I mean, this ain't a long review. I was just giving you what I thought. He could definitely use more arm articulation. It looks like they had the legs thought out pretty well, the waist thought out pretty well. It's the arms that need something. Honestly, like, it does dip in, look, at the top, but it doesn't actually give him any more articulation because of that. Nor can he, like, get his arm to bend very well. So, yeah. I know this is kind of probably my worst looking figure review video, but I can't get him to stand. Yeah. That's about all I really had to say about the figure. He's pretty good looking. Not bad at all. Probably still my favorite Freddy figure. Definitely still the best Freddy figure on the market. But yeah, I mean, if you have the Funko, you really don't care. Like, you know, if you're not like a big collector for Five Nights at Freddy's and you just want one Freddy figure, you already had the Funko. I'm not really sure if it's worth buying him unless you're like wanting to get the whole wave. But yeah, looks about right. I mean, he definitely looks way better. I mean, look at these two side by side. I would say, honestly, he's not even that expensive. He's $25. If you already had the Funko, I'm not going to say he should rush to get this one. Because quality-wise, he's not the biggest upgrade. But he's still an upgrade. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.